evening and welcome to the Sports Bar on talkSPORT. I'm your host, Jamie O'Hara, and I'm joined, I got to deal with him tonight. It's Jason Cundy.
Has anyone seen Tottenham Hotspur? Has anyone seen Big Ange? Forster? Has anyone seen Emerson? Sanchez, Van Der Ven, Davis, Solomon, Skip. Has anyone seen Hulberg? Perisic, Lo Celso, Richarlison. Has anyone seen Madison? Sir, Son, Scarlett, Kuleveski. Has anyone seen Osiardiles? Davison Sanchez again. Seven Sisters Station. Gary Mamet. Can you hear me, Gary? You're wasting one hell beating. The Chick King Shop. Danny Rose. Glenn Hoddle. 3 Points Cafe by the Stadium. 3 Points Cafe by the Stadium. Danny Kelly. Klinsman. Beavertown Corner Pin Pub. Graham Roberts. Tom Holland. Northumberland Park Station. The Sainsbury's by Warhart Lane. Jamie O'Hara. Can you hear me, Jamie? You're wasting one hell of a beating. Robbie Williams and his Big Hand song. Mickey Hazard. Number 8 Tottenham Pub. AJ Tracy. The Blue Bar. Harry Kane. You're wasting one hell of a beating.
Are you alright, mate? Did you enjoy that?
Mate, I need a pre-season. That's the trouble. It's the first one I've done.
That's the first proper one you've gone for.
I'm out of condition.
Yeah, I know.
I'm out of condition. I need more Spurs games.
Oh, dear. What we doing? Bad result for us, Jace. Bad day. It's been a bad day at the office. It's just been a bad day all round for me.
Where's Robbie Williams? Can we hear his song again? I'm loving Big Ange instead.
Oh, dear. Well, look. The Spurs result's not a great result, is it? But it's the Carabao Cup where I'm a little bit annoyed, Jace. I'll be honest. I'm a bit annoyed.
Go on.
Because he's made 9 changes. And, I fancy us to go. But why are you making 9 changes? We've got no European football. We can go and try and win a trophy. There's only 2 trophies, realistically, we could win this season. It was the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. We're not going to win the league. So you've got 2 trophies to go at. He made 9 changes. It's not good. It's not really good. Davinson Sanchez playing again. I mean,
Jay, they all do it, mate.
No, but I know.
They've done it they all do it. I'm not defending Spurs in any way, right? They all do it. Every manager does it. They do. You're playing. You look at the team that Fulham play out. Again, they all do it, mate. This is not a competition.
But I just look at it and go, come on, I think we've got a really good chance of getting top 4. But if there's a trophy on offer, you knock Fulham out, you never know. You get Carabao Cups, really, it's one of them ones that you can get to the final and it can really lift your season. And to make 9 changes and then try and bring them on at the end to try and get something from the game. And then penalties, Davinson Sanchez taking. Why is he taking a penalty? Why is Davinson Sanchez taking a penalty?
Good player. Don't knock him.
He's on.
You can't knock him, mate. He's a good player. Now, listen, are you back? I gave you a chance. You didn't edge on the side of caution.
It's just typical me, isn't it? To do a show the night before saying we're back and then we get knocked out of the Carabao Cup. I mean, it just sums it up, really, doesn't it?
This is a round that Spurs and Chelsea are never in. We're never in this because normally in Europe, only the poor Champions League sides that can't get in there, or Europe, only the rubbish teams go in this one. It's true. You ever look at the Premier League sides that are in it, mate?
Well, we're out, so, we've got to deal with that now. Spurs fans, you can have your say. What did you make of it? Or are you happy to be out of the Carabao Cup? 0371722.
What do you mean, happy?
Well, some people might think, you know what, we'll get rid of the Tuesday games as well.
There's no Spurs fans. You do not, they're not going to be happy.
We've just got Saturday games this season. Yeah, but what's he doing? What? I get it. You've got to try and keep some of the players happy, Jace. Keep some of the players.
I'm sorry, right? But this was a tougher game than people think. Fulham away was not an easy game.
No, I know, it's a tough game.
So he knew when he rolled the dice, he changed things. He knew, as well as you did and I did watching it, this was going to be a tougher game. Fulham are no mugs. They've shown that. They played a weakened side, right? It was a bit of a 50-50 game. And when it goes to penalties, like I said, I'm not making any excuses, Spurs, but this is what can happen.
What'd you make of that tonight? Disappointed or?
No, mate. No. I'm
delighted.
Again, delighted. That's right, mate.
Why?
I still remember when I first phoned you 2 years ago. It's all about the Champions League. Remember we went out to Middlesbrough? To me, it's all about the Champions League.
No, but we're not in the Champions League, John. We ain't got Europe this season.
Jamie, you said earlier, I think we've got a very good chance of getting fourth this year, but we've got a lot better chance of getting fourth by not being in the Cups and the fixture piling up. When you're in the League Cup semi-final, you've got the two-legged...
John.
Yeah?
John, no wonder Kane left.
No, exactly.
No, but John...
We're not in the Champions League.
But John, you've got... You can only win 2 trophies this year, realistically, right?
No.
John,
Jason, listen to me
you
on a second.
can only win one now.
Harry Kane was on telly today saying all about the Champions League. It's almost like all about, he knows they're probably going to win the Bundesliga. It's all about the Champions League.
John,
let's just say...
John, listen to yourself.
But John, we're never going. John, we're not going to. John, we're not going to win the Champions League. We're not going to win the Champions League.
We're not going to win it.
No, we get in the Champions League. We get knocked out and first knockout round.
Right, how well are we playing this year?
You're not going to win the Champions League, John.
We said that 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and we got to the final. We could have done it. Last year, with the team we're playing, the way we're playing now, and if we had Harry Kane, just listen to me a minute, if we had Harry Kane, the draw opened up for us last year. Man City, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid and Chelsea was all one side.
John, I'm sorry, I've got to stop you here, mate. Why are you talking Champions League in a competition you're not in? This is a competition.
Because we've got a lot better chance of coming fourth if you're out the Cups.
John, it's the 4th game of the season.
Boys,
you've been beaten.
When we beat Arsenal the other year to Pipham, we won 3-0. We beat them 3-0 the second last game, and they lost to Newcastle, etc., etc. Okay. And we got thrown out of the conference.
Yeah, go on. Go on.
Yeah, well, if the fixture pile-up had happened then, we wouldn't have done it.
What do you mean fixture pile-up? We're not in Europe, John. We're not in Europe.
No, exactly. So we've got a lot better chance. We're going to have a whole week. So we'll have this conversation again in about April.
No, you know what, John, now what he's got is a group of players, of second-string players that he's put in tonight to give an opportunity, who have let him down and have not put in a performance. And now the problem he's got is none of them players are going to play.
Boys, we'll have this conversation in April.
No, John, don't talk. No, John.
It's a two-legged semi-final, right? The League Cup and the FA Cup. Chelsea are playing Arsenal. You've got Newcastle playing whoever, Man United. They're in Europe. They're in the League Cup. They'll be playing a Tuesday and a Thursday within 48 hours in April. We're going to have a whole week off.
John, tell me you're joking me.
No,
this is your thought process. You wanted to lose tonight.
Sorry?
You wanted to lose tonight.
Yeah, I wanted to go out. I actually wanted to go out. The Champions League to me is everything.
John, honestly, mate, you're not real.
Jason.
No, John, you're not real, mate.
Of my age.
No, John.
You've got to remember, I'm 57. The FA Cup was everything when we were younger.
No,
right, Jason, just listen to me here one sec, mate. No. So, 78, 79, 80, you can remember them all, the famous goal, Arsenal, Sunderland, when Sunderland scored the goals, West Ham, Trevor Booking, etc.
John, stop giving me a history lesson. Talk about now. You're talking out the back of your head. John, you can't be happy.
Listen to me, right? Nate, the FA Cup's meant to be even bigger than the League Cup, yeah? All right, tell me who's won the last 4 or 5 FA Cups right off the top of your head.
John, listen to me now. Listen to me, right?
No, John, listen. It's way more important, mate.
Than winning a trophy. Spurs. Why can't you do both?
Why
can't you do both?
Better to do both, but
John,
why can't you do both, John?
Why can't you put a decent team out? We ain't got loads of midweek games. You got the Carabao Cup, FA Cup don't start for another 2-3 months.
You can't be happy you're out, John.
Then you can still get even fifth might get you Champions League football this season, and then you're in the Champions League next season, and then you sack off the Carabao Cup,
John,
because you're in the Champions League. We're not in Europe, John.
Yeah, but look at the times it cost us against Leicester in the year we lost the league.
What? John, what are you talking about? It's the 4th game of the season, John.
On the Thursday night.
John, you can't be happy. Retract that statement now. Take it back.
Absolutely. I watched it on Sky on live.
Well, you cheered? Did you cheer?
I was praying for
Did you cheer when Spurs got knocked out?
Yeah.
Right, you're a disgrace.
Delighted.
No, absolute,
John.
You're a disgrace.
John, I like you, John, but come on, mate.
I've gone off, John.
Boys, shall I tell you why? Do you remember last year when I phoned up and I said we were 10th, and I always remember a West Ham fan laughing at me afterwards. Connor, his name was, he said, they haven't got a hope. And at
John,
the time, I put £150 on. We were 10th. Conte to get 4th, and I always said it should have been manager of the season.
John,
the reason
John,
we got 4th spot,
it's the 4th game of the season, John.
Have a fixture pile up.
It's the 4th game of the season, mate.
John, honestly.
Yeah,
what are you going on about? You have no idea how the
if we
season
have
is going to go.
Boys, if we have a cup run...
What do you mean if? You're not having a cup run, you're out!
The final and the semis.
You're out!
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if we got to the final, that weekend when we're having a final, I'd much rather be getting 3 points for the Champions League.
But John, why have you got to make that decision
What
now?
are you on about?
On the 20, what do we now? 29th of August. Why are you making a call?
Anyone over 50 tonight, Spurs fans, don't get the supervisors to say, what would you prefer? Any Spurs fans over 50, you've got a choice. You either win one of the cups, but you get 5th spot,
John,
or none of the cups, and you get Champions League. Ask every Spurs fan over 50.
John, I'm sorry, matey. This is an appalling phone call. You're going to regret this tomorrow morning.
No,
You are.
I
You
said
are.
it before. Not when we get
mate.
Champions League again. I didn't regret it when we picked Arsenal at the end 2 years ago. I said we would.
But John, this is why can't you... Okay, look, I said at the top, this is a tough game, right? It's a 50-50 call when you make changes, right? But what's really disappointed about you is the fact that you cheered when Fulham knocked you out with the penalty. No, John, that's poor, mate. No, it's rubbish. No, rubbish.
Kane said today all about the Champions League.
I mean, Kane didn't play for you anymore, John.
If we had got Champions
John, we
League
listen to Kane.
He's at Bayern Munich.
He's at Bayern Munich, John.
How do you know that Kane might not have stayed if we was in the Champions
What are you
League?
going on about?
John, he doesn't play for you
Kane's
anymore.
gone.
You know that scene out of Only Fools and Horses?
No,
You don't
he might
live
have
here
stayed
anymore,
because he's in the
Rodney.
Champions League. You don't know that. All right then, hypothetically, right, if his wife doesn't settle in Germany, yeah, and she wants to come back.
What do you mean?
But we're not in the
What do you
Champions
mean?
League, and Chelsea are, for argument's sake. How do you know he might not go to Chelsea? The Champions League is the be-all and end-all now.
So here's the thing. One of the reasons we're happy tonight is because Kane might come back.
Well, yeah, but he left because we were... How do you know that if we'd been in the Champions League last year and qualified, how do you know he wouldn't have stayed?
John, these are semantic. No one knows. No one has a clue. But what...
But he talks about it. It is the Champions League. It's so important now.
John, why are you talking about Kane?
Because he might well have stayed if we was in the Champions League.
John, he's not staying, mate. He had a year left in his contract. He ain't staying, mate. Honestly, he wasn't staying.
Of course, because we had nothing. He'd heard the same old
John,
thing.
he wasn't...
Ryan Mason as manager.
This is an insane phone call.
And he was going nowhere, and he'd heard the same thing. We weren't even in Europe.
John.
But if we had been in the Champions League, how do you know he wouldn't have stayed?
I don't know what to say anymore.
John,
I don't know what to say. I'm trying to help him out.
He cheered.
I'm trying to help him out.
Did you jump up and down, John, when Fulham scored the penalty?
Well, they messed it up. They went off to somewhere else, Newport Leeds.
Right, listen, John, give us...
Like,
see, we got the final penalty, John. John, we got
boys, tomorrow, I'm going to put serious money on us to get...
Why? Because you got beat by Fulham on the fourth... What's going on?
What is he on about?
Because we're going to have less fixtures. Can't you understand that, boys? Towards the end of the season. I want us to go out the FA Cup third round.
Say that again.
I want us to go out when we do the same in the FA Cup. When we play the third round of the FA Cup, I want Costa-Coglou, sorry about his name, right, to put out a weakened team again. I want to go out there. The cups aren't the same like they were in the 80s. It's all about the Champions League. I want to go out the FA Cup early as well. I don't want a fixture pile up.
John,
this fixture pile up's in your head.
Yeah, John.
It's in your head, John. It doesn't exist right now. There is no fixture pile up.
John,
you've got no European football. You've got no Carabao. That's the thing, right? So Spurs getting beat tonight. That's one of the worst phone calls I've ever taken.
It's bad from John.
Right? Because going out to Fulham, that was a bit of a 50-50 call. It could have happened tonight because Fulham are a good side.
Yeah, of course.
Two weakened teams. Right? But what really has done it for me is that his thought process is, he cheered, got knocked out tonight because, this is a bit, he wants the FA Cup to get knocked out, so there's no fixture pile-up.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.